Hello everyone. This is our fourth lecture, that is theory of induction relay. In earlier lecture we have seen basics of protective relaying. We have seen types of relay. Induction relay we have seen shaded pole type induction disk relay. This is shaded pole type induction disk relay. Wattmeter type induction disk relay. This is wattmeter type induction disk relay. Induction cup type relay. Now this wattmeter type construction, in measurement you have gone through it, you have studied it. Okay, now in this lecture we will see theory of this induction relay. This relay works on the principle of induction. That means torque is produced in this relay when one alternating flux reacts with the current induced in the rotor by another alternating flux displaced in time and space but having the same frequency, and due to interaction of rotating flux torque is produced and which causes rotor to rotate or disc to rotate. Now in this two fluxes are there. In shaded pole type construction, two fluxes are produced by non-shaded pole and shaded pole. Shaded pole, the flux flowing through shaded pole will lag behind this non-shaded pole, while in wattmeter type construction upper magnet will provide one flux while lower magnet will provide other flux. Okay, now in induction cup type relay, pair of coils, these two pair of coils will produce one flux, while these two coils will produce another flux. Like this two fluxes are produced. Now we will see how the relay operates, or how the principle of working of this induction disk type or cup type relay. This flux phi1 produced by one coil, one magnet. This flux phi1 will induce eddy current in the disk. This is I1. This flux phi2 will induce eddy current I2. Okay, now this flux phi1 is interacting with this I2, so this will produce force F1. This phi2 is interacting with this I1, this will produce F2. Now torque is produced due to this F1 and F2 are in opposite direction, so difference of these two will produce a torque or force in this disk, and the disk will rotate. So in this relay, interaction of two fluxes with the eddy current in the disk causes the disk to rotate or the rotor to rotate. Now look here, this now phasor diagram, vector diagram, you can see here this I2 current I2 will produce flux phi2. Because of this phi2, EMF is produced in the disk that lags behind this 90 degree. This is EMF, this E2 is due to flux phi2, while this flux current I1 will produce phi1, and due to this phi1 EMF is induced in the disk that is called as E1, and due to this E2 and E1 eddy current are flowing, that is I1 and I2. Now this we can represent mathematically as phi1 as phi m sin omega t, while phi2 one is lagging, another is leading. So phi2 is phi2 maximum sine of omega t. Now this flux phi1, now this due to this flux phi1 there is EMF, and that EMF causes the eddy current. So this current I1 is proportional to E1. What is this E1? E1 is EMF induced. EMF induced according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. This EMF is d phi by dt. Now d phi1 by dt. Phi1 is given as phi m sin omega t. So this phi m we can replace at phi 1 sin of omega t. Now this will be your omega phi 1 cos of omega t. It is proportional to phi m cos of omega t. Now in this case, similarly phi 2 sin of omega t plus theta. Theta is the angle between phi 2 and phi 1, where phi 2 leads with phi 1. Now assuming that path in the rotor current flow has a negligible self-inductance, the rotor current are in phase with their voltages. As we are neglecting self-inductance of that disk, so definitely E1 and I1 is in phase, we can consider, but here we can show there is certain angle, is given. If we are neglecting this, then definitely these two are in phase. So this I1 is proportional to E1, E1 is proportional to d phi 1 by dt, and that means I1 is phi 1 cos of omega t, while I2 is phi 2 cos of omega t plus theta. Now force or electromagnetic torque is produced in this induction relay due to interaction of these two fluxes. One is interaction of one with another alternating interaction of one alternating flux with current induced in the rotor by another alternating flux. These two fluxes will causes, these two forces will causes disc to rotate. So F is, you can consider, you can see here these two fluxes are in opposite direction. This phi 1 will interact with this I2, while this phi 2 will interact with I1. These two forces are in opposite direction. So we can write this equation as F is F2 minus F1, and that is proportional to phi 2 into I1. This is phi 2 into I1 and phi 1 into this I2. This is I2. Okay, so we can write this as phi 2 into I1 minus phi 1 into I2. Which one is greater will subtract lesser quantity from the higher quantity. Okay, now if you solve this, finally you will get F is proportional to phi 1 phi 2 sine of theta. This theta is angle between this phi 1 and phi 2. If this theta angle between these two fluxes are 90 degrees, then definitely this torque is, this force is maximum. Okay, so if it is 90 degree, force is maximum. If it is 0, then no torque is produced. Okay, the resultant force is same at every instant. It is clear that magnitude of force developed on the rotor depends on the phase angle theta between two fluxes. Greater the phase angle between the two fluxes, greater the magnitude of the force on the rotor. When theta equal to 90, the net force is maximum. This already I have explained. F is proportional to theta 1 theta 2. That means F is proportional to, again we came to our original equation, F is proportional to K into I square. That is our original equation. Okay, into sine theta. If this angle is between, this theta is angle between phi 1 and phi 2. If it is 90 degrees, sine 90 is 1. So it will be maximum. The direction of force and hence the direction of rotor depends on the flux that leads the other. When one flux leading the other, the rotor will move in that direction. This is all about your induction relays. In next lecture we will see overcurrent relays. Okay, thank you very much.